guys, what's going on? It's Kaitlin here hanging out with the man of the hour, 50 Cent. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm enjoying myself. We're here at the launch party for SMS Audio. Kaitlin Anthony launching the sports edition of actual SMS, the Sync wireless earbuds. So it's cool, man. Really exciting.
Awesome headphones. I mean, the first thing when I walked in is the colors.
Right.
I'm from Florida, so I love the bright, I love the happy, and that's what I did. I walked in, I started smiling. That, and I knew I was going to see you.
Right.
So can you tell us a little bit about the headphones? Can we take a look at them? Do you mind? I mean, I just want everyone to see them at home.
Yeah, this is a sports edition. They got a specific water technology that prevents you from actually damaging it based on the water. And a lot of times if we're wearing a hat and it starts raining outside, we don't take the headset off. We just continue to enjoy it. Then later when our products and things aren't operating properly, we find out it was water damage, like cell phones and all those things. And they could utilize this technology to make the actual phones not go out of whack on us,
Right.
but of course they'll be last, they'll wait till later. But we're concentrating on durability and creating a flat signal so we have a high quality product.
So is that how it happened? Were you walking home and it started to rain? Or, I mean, you're a musician.
Well, I try to think of all the different purposes and reasons why I would actually utilize it. And me personally, it's a must when I actually go to be active physically in the gym.
Right.
It takes my mind off of how long I have to discipline myself. Like that treadmill action, you need the music to keep you going, And, because of that, I said this would be one of those things that promote the active lifestyle, and people would appreciate it.
I think that they are going to appreciate it. I think everyone at home is probably going to run home and get a pair because there's a lot of headphones on the market, but this is really one of a kind.
It's generating the interest of my peers, not just people in the music business, but people that live within the entrepreneurial spirit. And Kaitlin Anthony is not just someone who endorses the actual SMS. She's someone who actually has equity ownership, invested in the company, and Timbaland is also an investor in it. He helped us actually create that signature sound for the actual products. Just listening, he's someone that's in the studio the majority of his life. Like he's always in the studio. Like when I'm done with the record, I go through my touring process, and Timbaland's still in the studio.
That's great. Well, I think that's what's so great. What you're saying is a lot of people are just faces of products, but these people believe in it. And It seems like with a lot of your work, you believe in the things, and that's why you choose to do the things you do. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then people can sense your passion. And if you try to sell them something that you don't actually believe in, they go, it's not important. They don't even want to have an interest in the actual product. Or I think it's so easy for people to understand how much music means to my life. All my success comes by way of music.
Right. No, and I mean, speaking of success, you're someone that I looked at 10 years ago and I'm like, wow, he's successful. And now, flash forward, here you are, you're an entrepreneur, you are producing shows on Starz that just got picked up. Congratulations.
Right, the second season of Power, they'll get a chance to check it out on the Starz Network. That's a project that we worked on for 2 years. Me and Courtney Kemp, from the very beginning, we developed what the actual show is. Just talking about stories and things that I've experienced that allowed her to help develop the arc for actual characters and how she put it together. It's amazing. But I got her to quit The Good Wives in order to take on this project full time. And she's one of those people that aren't afraid of success. Like in her quitting working for a show, being one of the parts that they had going, she now has the biggest show on the Starz Network.
And thanks to you. So great work with that. So you also just released the album, Animal Ambition. You have a new one coming out in September. Can you tell us a little bit what we can expect off that?
Yeah, Animal Ambition, the project the overall concept was prosperity. Because the block that I've been dealing with some of my core fans from the very beginning is they look and go, no, it's different because of the success. And when you make it, you'll reflect on how far you came, so you'll remember things that you didn't actually use in the very beginning. And I write things that kind of reflect my struggle in the actual beginning at this point. Meanwhile, the artists that haven't achieved the financial level are writing success because
what they imagine success to be, as opposed to the experience that you've journeyed through life.
Exactly. So if I wrote the details to the way my life is right now, it would be something that you've already heard from an artist that didn't actually achieve it. And I focused and I went back. So I felt like I had to represent that first in the actual, a body of work before I went to Street King Immortal. So they'll get a chance to hear that, what I really feel like is hot September.
I'm so excited for it. And so, I mean, do you think that you can do more of this creativity because now you're independent? You went away from a major level. Do you feel that now you're like, this is me. I'm going to write about what I know, what I've been through?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have the freedom of music is connected to timing. Like it works when the time is right for the actual material. And if you have a process where you develop what you feel like is the best content or the best records, and then you have to do a song and a dance for staff to keep everyone on deck and excited about the project, it changes. Because the room may register it the wrong way. And when you can't trend as an artist and be really effective, because you can't have a moment if your music is like the music that's actually playing, you can just fit in.
Right.
And if that staff doesn't feel exactly the way you feel, you get a interesting vibe. Like you don't feel like everyone feels like this project is going to be a success. So not having to go through that process is allowing me to make material and release it to the public, and it's making me more effective. Like since I started releasing music independently, I've had a surge of new energy of people wanting to hear what I'm doing next. So I'm excited about it.
Which is so exciting. And there's so many platforms now that you can release this onto. And
Right.
we see that you're utilizing them.
New artists now, it's so different because there's no artist development within music culture anymore. There's no real strong A&R department where they're developing songs for artists in advance or anything like that. So now you're gonna see a lot of guys that have one hit and then they're not seasoned enough to make the next one.
Right.
So they'll be there and they'll be working on stuff and probably present stuff to the public that's not up to standard.
So going off of that, there's a lot of people that we focus on millennials. A lot of people are aspiring to things. Sometimes people think that they made it. Some people think they're right there. What is your advice to them, or what's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Well, I think ambition is an endless tunnel. So you just got to be, if you're active, you just got to work. Because I made a record a long time ago. In 1997, I was working with Jam Master Jay, and I thought it was the hottest thing on the planet. And he listened to it, he enjoyed it, he produced the record himself. Then he went outside, and he came back in, and he was like, turn it off. And I was like, okay, turned it off. And he was like, if that record is what we think it is, you need another one. And it was the biggest lesson that I was taught in music.
Right.
Because it's like, if you're right, if this record is great, you need another one, then you need another one, then you need another one, then you need another one. So there's a significance in sustaining the interests of the public. A lot of guys come once and go away.
Right. Can't lose momentum. There's a quote that I heard you say. It's talking about being overconfident. And you said you're not afraid to be overconfident because that way, when things don't make it, you're still confident.
Right.
You don't lose your momentum. You don't leave your confidence.
Some people need to appear to be overconfident, or you can actually mistake their confidence for arrogance at points, and it's usually because they went through a process of having a lot of people not believe in them. That they're wearing on their sleeve. No, I'm gonna make it. It's gonna happen.
Right.
And you gotta imagine what it would take to believe that you're gonna be a success when there's nothing around to support it.
Yeah.
No one who agrees with your actual idea. They're going, yeah, I think you're talented as an artist, but what are the odds of you actually making it out of the situation we're in?
So what do you say to those people?
I say to them, if you don't believe in yourself, how could you expect someone else to believe in you? So like it's just how people do things. Like specifically on that topic, like Kendrick Lamar is one of those people that he's going to be a darling as far as media is concerned, because he has the ability to make you feel like he don't know why this happened. Like like he didn't do the work to get there. And I'm like, Kendrick, you know this was gonna happen, boy. Like you've been working hard for it to actually happen. And he goes, you're right. Like he didn't know, so you can't really interpret him as if he's overconfident at any point. But I think we're a product of our experience. The things we go through make us who we are. And some people that have experienced not having people support them are gonna come and appear to be arrogant at points because they believe in themselves, and they're just telling you openly I believe in myself.
I mean, speaking of experiences, people look at you, you're so inspirational. I mean that
Thank
from the
you
bottom
for
of my
saying
heart. You really, really are. And something that I love is that you've taken your success and you give back. You're not afraid to say, this is where I've been. I'm going to go create community gardens. I'm going to go help those kids. I'm going to, donate partial proceeds for Feeding America. What is it, those experiences that you've been through that makes you want to give back?
I think when you have success, you enter different circles of actual people. You have different surroundings because you'll come across people who have a lot more than you. And you'll find that really successful people are conscious because the money is not the thought anymore. They've made enough money for their life. They're thinking about their legacy or what their aura is. And you'll find philanthropy not far behind success. After a person has enough of it, they'll start to feel like they want to do things and give back. Not necessarily to the community that they actually come from, but to the world in general. Because they didn't have to support it. They didn't have to enjoy the song when it came on. It could have been that person that's in the room that's just too upset to actually agree with everyone else. Like you see it on social networking, like you got the guy that just go against the grain. Like no matter how good it is, he's gonna say something negative. It's just where he's at. For himself. It doesn't actually reflect what you're doing or who you are. It's just where that person is at. Yeah.
Well, I think, we've seen your story, got success, you got philanthropy. I think a lot of people are going to say, wow, he's a great guy. He came from a situation that some would say, that was hard. He overcame it. You had a hit. You had a second hit. You grew an empire. And now we're sitting here for your own headphones. Like, did you ever think that would happen when you were first making music? You would have your own brand?
I would anticipate success because I needed it to work. So I'm gonna do everything, possible. I'll leave no stones unturned. Let's do everything I can to make it a success. But if you asked me to make a wish in 2003, I would have just wished it In the Club was a hit. That would have been sufficient at that point. That first song. And then after that, I want something else, and I want something else. Look, if people could actually hear the things that I say to God, they'd probably be tired of me asking for new things. Because I've learned more about myself over that time period. Even like the home that I bought in Connecticut, I bought Mike Tyson's home, 55,000 square feet, huge place. And when I bought it, it was confirmation of success. And it's necessary because I'm coming out of a basement apartment in my grandmother's home that was like, could barely stand up in the actual place. So I understand the success of now, but at that point it was necessary for me to look around and actually feel like I'm a success, like I made it. So it was cool, and it was big enough for me to have people around me that come from where I come from, but have my space at the same time.
Well, I know you're talking to a lot of people tonight, but I hope you take a minute to stop and look around and experience success. And thank you for sharing all of these stories with us. I mean, truly inspiring, and I'm so happy to meet you and talk with you.
Thank you, it's my pleasure. And I'm just so glad you wore a dress where we can actually see your legs.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I wore it because I was going to be in the club.
I
love it. Thank you so much. I wanted to sit down and be like, so I got 21 questions. But I really wanted that because I love that song growing up. Like, that would be my song to get ready to. So.
Music marks time. Like when you say you love the song growing up, it's back to that period that it came out.
Right.
As soon as it comes on, it takes you back to that time period. Like people in relationships have their record that they say, this is our record. And when it comes on, it makes them feel the feelings that they felt for each other at that point.
It's nostalgic. I mean, there's a lot of people I talk to, but speaking to someone like you, that I'm like, I have so memories, even though we've never met, of you and where you've taken me in my life, it's really an incredible feeling. So
I'm glad I met you tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much.